Allegiance is the obligation of subjects to their sovereign or of citizens to their government. Some offer it willingly, others not so much, and some will only offer it when it's too late. Well, we'll get to the topic of allegiance in a moment, but first, welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me. Come on in, have a seat with me. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend. If you want to join our email list, you'll get a free copy of my book, Count to One, you can download, and you'll get Mornings with Bishop Robert sent directly to your inbox every day. So click the link in the description, you'll find out about all the other benefits as well. You know, many nations have some form of a pledge of allegiance, though they're not always a part of regular life. Malaysia, India, Turkey, Singapore, and Ireland all have pledges I've found. In the U.S., we used to recite ours at the beginning of every school day, but I'm understanding that has become less and less common. But does an obligation cease to exist just because somebody ignores it? Well, obviously not. Today's verse says, every tongue will declare allegiance to God. The Apostle Paul is actually quoting Isaiah. Both Isaiah and Paul are actually speaking about the same thing. It's a warning of coming judgment. Isaiah was speaking of ignorant people carrying idols and praying to a God that couldn't save them. They had idols of wood and stone. For many of us, our idols are money, possessions, houses, and reputation. None of these things are able to save us. And that's important because Paul's point is that we will all face a judgment. Yet we all need to be saved. One day, each one of us is going to stand before God, the true and only God, and we're going to give an account. All of us have a debt that we owe him because, well, all of us have sinned and fallen short of perfection. So there's a price to be paid for our debt. The price of our sin is death, because sin robs the very life out of everything it controls. And there's no negotiating, because the facts are not arbitrary. It's not like God is setting a fee like some merchant. He's stating a fact. Sin kills, always, everything, no exception. But the author of life, well, he's offered us life in his Son. Jesus came to earth and allowed his sin to do its worst to him. Ha! Yeah, not quite. Jesus came to earth and allowed sin to do its worst to him. Sin killed him, to be sure. But he had the power to take the keys of death and hell, and he was raised to life once again. He alone has the power to offer you life, true life. And the life he offers is eternal. The life he offers is filled with his power. The life he offers is filled with his purpose. Yeah, the life he offers is able to change you totally, utterly. And most importantly, the life he offers is paid for. Hey, it's a good feeling to get a copy of a bill you owe and see that it's been marked paid in full. Nothing more is due with respect to that debt. No more is owed. Friend, the day's coming when everyone will stand before God and confess, recognize, the allegiance that is owed to him. Even if you've ignored your obligation for your entire life, ignoring it doesn't eliminate it. God's word is clear as crystal about what will happen on that day. He says, as surely as I live, nothing can be more certain than that, every knee will bend to me. When confronted by the glory and the majesty of the King of Kings, you will recognize it. And every tongue will declare allegiance to God. Now, allegiance is the obligation, not only the submission. Yeah, the day's coming when you and I will fully recognize what God has said is true. We'll agree that we owe him an obligation of love and service as our Creator, as the King of Kings. We'll agree that we've failed to meet that obligation, and we'll see the sin that has robbed us of true life. But those of us who've accepted his offer of new life will have his life within us. Those who've rejected the life he offered will recognize they have no other source of life. No idols will be able to give life. Only the one true God. Hey friend, the time to accept his offer of new life is now, while you still have the opportunity. Do you have that life within you? Hey, if so, rejoice and share it with others. If not, let's talk about how to change that. Seriously, message me on this platform. I've got some good news for you. Well, we've reached the end of our time. But I do want to ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew and help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So please like this video, which really does help more people see it. Then click follow or subscribe so that you and I can get together every single day. And one more thing, share this video with a friend, would you? Because as you do, you're part of the team touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.